Hi everyone, it's Lauren, your manifestation coach. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything having to do with mindset, manifesting, and the law of attraction. Today I have an awesome interview for you guys with Mahmoud Sebie. He's joining us here. He's an unbelievable athlete and he's going to help us really talk about what it takes to manifest things that are really difficult or even seem impossible. Just to tell you guys about Mahmoud, he is an Olympic wrestler. He actually competed in the 2016 Olympics, which is an unbelievable story. He's going to tell us all about it. He's since then retired from wrestling, and now he's actually a professional MMA fighter, and he just won his first competitive fight. So thank you so much for being with us here today, Mahmoud.
Thank you.
So the reason I wanted to have Mahmoud join us today is because he is such a talented athlete, and he's really going to help us understand what does it take mindset-wise, what does it take from a mentality perspective to achieve really unbelievable things that others would say are actually impossible. He has some really crazy stories that he's going to share with us today. So we are so lucky and so happy to have him with us right now.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself? How did you get to this point where you're actually competing at the professional competitive level for MMA?
I'm from Egypt. Mm-hmm. I started my wrestling career when I was 8-9 years old. I have been doing wrestling for 17 years. It's just my passion. I love what I do, and I just found myself there.
And that's what I love the most about Mahmoud's story, just to tell you guys, is that really is someone who, against all the odds, against everything that looked like maybe it could happen or couldn't happen, he really persisted to have the career that he really wanted in the thing that he truly has a passion for, and the thing that you really love above everything else, which is competitive sports. A lot of people have said that the things that you've personally done were impossible, like qualifying for the 2016 Olympics, which we'll go into a little bit later. But part of that is being able to tell yourself a story, okay? And understand what is the story that you're telling yourself. Are you telling yourself a story of being a champion, or are you telling yourself a story of being a victim of your circumstances? Whatever story you're telling yourself, that's what's gonna end up really playing out in your life. So tell us a little bit about what kind of stories do you tell yourself throughout all of this process and achieving really these difficult things?
Okay, the story is there's always gonna be difficulties. There's always gonna be challenges. But at the end of the day, you have to know what you want. And I know what I want since day one when I started. And I know there's gonna be difficulties, there's gonna be challenges. But when this happened, it's always reminding me it was my biggest goal, which is where I want to be. When I started, I want to be the best in the world in what I do. I want to be the best in the world in my relationships. I want to be the best in the world with my family. I want to be the best in the world in anything I do. That's what I feel, Like no one is perfect, but at least you always want to be good or better in every single aspect in your life. So for my goal, for example, that's one of the biggest challenges. I quit wrestling since 2011 till 2015. And then I decided I'm going to come back and qualify for the Olympics. Everybody was like, are you crazy? Are you serious? I was like, yeah.
So wait, just to understand, you literally were 4 years.
4 years out of wrestling. I don't train. I don't do anything. I was a smoker. I was drinking alcohol. And this is first time in my entire life I say that in any video.
Wow.
Or interviews.
Wow.
So yeah, I was smoking and I was drinking alcohol. It's against my religion, but I was doing it.
And you weren't training, really?
No, but mentally I was not okay. I was depressed and I wasn't feeling good. Mm-hmm. But then I decided I'm done with all this bullshit. I have to get back to who I am because I feel lost at this time. That's why I always say everybody can get lost, but the biggest thing is you have to still be in control to stop this or go back to where you want to be. Because if you lose that, you're going to lose it for your entire life. That's why when I get back, I was like, this is the only chance to get back for who I am. So I start to train. I start to train 3 times a day. I start to eat healthier as much as I can. I start to, be always 100% focused in my training. So I made it to the African Championships, and then I get medals in Grand Prix in Germany, in Spain, in Poland, in Hungary, all over till the Olympic qualifier. And then I qualified to the Olympics. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, how?" You literally, because it was only the gap between I came back from the quitting time till the Olympics was only 8 months. Wow. And I made it to the Olympics. I qualified in 4 months, 5 months almost.
Wow, from basically having such a down time and such a down period of not training to qualifying for the Olympics
Yeah.
in literally the span of 8 months.
Yeah.
People would basically say to you that that would be impossible, right?
It is, yeah. If I were at that time, I was like everybody was just saying impossible, you'll never make it. But I was like, I believe in myself. I'm the best in the world in whatever I do. It might be I don't have a good time at that time, not like wasn't good mentally at that time. But it's okay to not be okay. It's fine. Everybody go through stuff. But the biggest thing or the biggest challenge is you have to overcome this, because if you just leave yourself with it and just go with the flow, you're gonna lose your life. You're gonna lose yourself too. That's why I decided at the time, because sport is my passion and wrestling was my passion. Like it's still my passion, but I decided to give back because sport have told me that nothing is impossible, and hard work will reward in any day in your life. Might take time, but hard work will be always rewarding. And being like focused or like following your dreams is gonna be the best thing you're gonna do in your life in any field. It's gonna be literally the best thing. You're never gonna regret it in your life. You could regret stuff in your life, but doing what you love and following your passion is literally the most amazing thing in your life you will ever do.
I so agree with that. So that's something that this channel is all about, is really about pursuing your passion and doing the thing that you really love. And like he said, it really is absolutely the most rewarding thing that you could possibly do when you finally understand what it is that you want. You came on this earth to do, what it is that you have in your soul.
It's just gonna take time. Sometimes people like, I'm doing this. I don't get any rewards from it, but you have to be patient. I was not patient at my young age when I was like 15, 14, 16, like in my teenagers. I wasn't literally patient, but I felt or I realized that patience just gonna come with practice. You have to practice this. You have to be in control more. You have to understand that anything you're gonna do in your life is just gonna take time. It's gonna take time, but there's always believe that it's gonna happen, and you're gonna achieve that, and you're gonna like reach it. So.
And that is so important, because many times in our life we're gonna see things in the middle. And it's going to look like, oh my God, what I want is not going to happen, right? It's never going to be like, oh yeah, I want that thing, and then there's no challenges in between. No, there's always challenges that are going to come up, and it's going to look like it's impossible what you want. Like the middle is just so difficult, so hard, and you're not going to be able to reach to the other side. But this is why practicing patience, as you said, is the most important. Yeah. And it's a practice of patience. You don't just wake up and learn to be patient in these hard circumstances, right? You learn to be patient by going through these hard circumstances and seeing that you come out on the other end.
That's true. Not even only patient and consistency and commitment, like all that was gonna makes your life better or like makes you closer to your goal. It's just gonna be practice. Practice all this. Things what you want to do in your life. It's just going to be practice small things, going to make it perfect. So
exactly. And even just manifesting, the concept of manifesting is a muscle that you're practicing all the time. It's not something that you just do. It's actually something that you practice. It's the practice of patience, as you said. It's the practice of suspending your judgment on something, even when it looks like it could be terrible, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. The practice of meditating and learning how to control your emotions, how to control your mind, your thoughts.
Yeah, when I started to practice my mind, I just feel huge difference, because I was really emotional, and I was not able to control my emotions even before like I'm competing or like in the off-season times. But when I started to train and do exercise for my mind, it just made game changer for me. Breathing, I started to do also breathing techniques. It's just literally game changing. So you have to understand, I have to like understand what do you want, or do I have to train my mind? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? So you have to understand what you want. And then once you understand what you want, then you will understand what I should do to get there. Just follow what I love. If art is my love, I'll just follow it. If music is my whatever my passion, I'm just gonna follow. But I'm grateful that I found my passion when I was younger. So that's why I keep doing what I do, because I wake up in the morning, I'm happy that I do what I do, because I feel happy when I'm training and getting ready competing. Competing is one of thing is just going in my blood. I love competing. It's just some people they love, things. Some people they don't. But I love what I do, so I enjoying it. So.
And that's something that I think like maybe a lot of viewers at home might be kind of confused about. Is like, should they follow their passion? Should they follow their purpose? Like you said, if it was music or art or athletics, even though those fields can be quite challenging. So, people think, what are the chances that I'm going to make it in that field? What are the chances that I'm going to actually succeed? So instead they end up taking, a route that seems more simple or easy or more typical. But, that's why I want to really share these kinds of stories with the audience, because they have to know that you can make it. But you have to first have that vision, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it might seem impossible in the beginning, but the biggest goal or the biggest thing is, do you believe that you can make this happen? That's number one. If you don't believe in yourself, no one ever will do. So that's number one. Number two, you have to put in work to get there, because, I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to get this. I want to achieve this. But like, would you do what it takes to be there? Are you going to be disciplined? Are you going to be determined? Are you going to be committed to what are you doing? Because there's a lot of things, it seems impossible in the beginning, and nothing is going to be easy. Whatever you want to achieve or whatever you want to do in your life, nothing is going to be easy. There's always going to be things against you. There's always going to be situations. There's always going to be struggles, That's how it is. Nothing is just going to come easy right away,
So this is really important, because when it comes to action and manifesting, action is actually a big part of manifesting. The thing is, though, you can't really take the action if you don't first have the mindset that it's even possible, right?
It's true. There's a lot of people, that's one of the things I learned too. A lot of people, they want to start to do something like, put down what you want. So I want to wake up in this day every time at that time. I want to go to the gym one time a day. I want to do this. I want to do this. And then second week, it started to be like, they do that already and they doing it perfectly. But second week, it started to be like, oh, I'm tired. I'm not gonna, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have to go today. And I don't have to eat this meal. It's healthy. So I can eat McDonald's or whatever, any fast food. And then the difference between this week and the second week is commitment. Because if you're committed to something, commitment is like when you're tired and you can't do something, you're gonna do it. When you are mentally not ready to train or every single day I feel tired, and before training I'm like I don't want to train because I'm exhausted.
That's actually
the intensity. Yeah, the intensity of training. But in the meantime, I love what I do. That's the difference. But that pain or that sacrifices you're doing right now, you're gonna get rewarded from it. That's why when you see athletes after they win something, they're so happy, because in this moment, literally everything is just your brain is just reminding you with all the sacrifices and all the hard work you have put in and the determinations and all that is just translated to success. Saying.
Yeah.
But a lot of people they don't have the commitment, but it's not gonna come right away from one day. It's gonna come with practice too.
And that's something that I think most people don't really realize, right? So what I love that you just said basically, is that yes, you need to put in the sacrifices, and yes, you need to put all those commitments. And what is the difference, let's say, from week 1 to week 2, right? Is that in week 1, you have the vision of what it is still fresh in your mind, right?
Sure.
You're okay, my vision is I see this, this successful fight or this successful match or whatever. You have that vision and that goal. In the second week, we forget our vision and we forget our goal and we forget that that's what we're working towards. So very often what happens is we fall kind of back asleep and we fall into the old patterns of the old ways. But if you keep the vision and you keep the mindset firm, then naturally you kind of know what to do, right? You know what your body follows, right? The body follows the mind. Right?
It's true. But one of the things is one of my advice I have gotten before. So when you want to be committed to something, don't put all that goals and you want to wake up every single day or you want to train every single day, but you never did this before or you're not doing it right now. So put just one time, 1 week you train or you're going to work out, put it for a month. And then second month, it's going to literally come like second nature for you. So then add one. And then third one, add another one. and then with time it's gonna be like a normal day for you because you add it to your lifestyle, so you're not doing anything you're not used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And actually, this is a really important concept that Mahmoud is really touching on, because this is like what we consider in the manifesting community being as if. So if you have a goal of someone you want to be, like let's say you want to be a professional athlete, and that person, you train like 6 hours a day, right?
Something I train twice in the morning, afternoon, 3 and 3, sometimes 2.5, 2.5, or 3 and 3. Yeah.
Right. So a lot, basically all day. Like personally, if I would start training like that, I'd probably die.
It's normal. If you tell this to anybody, you're gonna say the same thing. But what I'm trying to say
is, you do it
I just start it now? No, I started like when I was young. But do anybody can do it? Yes.
Exactly.
But it's gonna take time.
Right.
Take time and be patient, because you're not gonna bring someone who never did any sport in their lives, but they're still young and they wanna pursue any dreams or any like in any field. And you're like, boom, 6 hours a day. No, you're gonna die. You know, like they're gonna pass
out.
And
it makes you hate what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to. So part of being as if, and this whole concept of how to like manifest your way into a new lifestyle, is that you have to change yourself at an identity level of who you actually are, right? You're not just like going into the gym and now training 6 hours. Even if I go to the gym now and train 6 hours, I haven't shifted on an identity level. I don't have the mindset yet of a professional athlete. I don't have the muscle memory yet of a professional athlete. And so what you want to do is every day try to get a little bit closer to the person who you're trying to be, right? Is that like this is what you see yourself as? Every day you're like, you have this vision of who you want to be, and then you just kind of try to put yourself as much as you can within your physical capability in that, and being that person in mentality, physically, emotionally. How would that person think? What would they do? You know, what would be their habits, right? Later we're going to talk about habits as well, like that is important for your success. So really though, when the mind first has that image and has that visualization of what it wants to get, then the body follows.
From what I've seen in my life, from all the experiences, no, mindset is everything. Because the difference between me and other, you know, guys, they started with me with the same career and in the same field, in the same sport. They started with me when I was 8 or 9. Now they quit.
Yeah.
They quit, but I kept going. I literally found myself there, and you know, like I'm pursuing my dream to be the best in the world in what I do. But after 2 or 3 or 4 years, whatever amount of time, they quit. They stop. And then they choose different path. You know, like to get married or like to just get a regular job. It's fine. I'm not against it. But the thing is, that's the difference between someone who wanted really bad to be good at this, or someone just doing it because they just want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
The persistence.
Yeah.
So being
the
able
consistency
to persist
too.
Yes.
Because that's one of the biggest things between someone who gonna make it or not, being consistent. Because you know, you're pursuing your dream or you work on your goals, there's always gonna be stuff happening in your life. There's always gonna be stuff against you. There's always gonna be a bad and hard situations gonna happen. But the thing is, how you gonna react with this? How you gonna like solve it? Because whatever is happening at the moment, it's not your final destination. It just happened. You have to react to it. You have to find a solution, because there is always solutions. But when the problem happened for us, we are like got shocked, like, oh my gosh, like you literally get paranoid, and a lot of people. But when it started with me to get in the really hard situations in my life, I realized from all the hard situations I've been through, this is not the end. No, you're gonna get through that, pass it, and then keep going. Another thing is gonna happen. So there's always expectation, of course, good things, but you have to understand anything could be happen anytime, you know what I'm saying? So your mind have to be ready for good or bad.
And that's really like about, you know, being in the middle and understanding that a hard circumstance that you said, like something that seems impossible, extremely difficult to overcome, especially when we're talking about top level performance, right?
Yeah.
Something I'm very passionate about is like really like, how do people get to be top in anything? Whether they're a public speaker that's the top performer, or an athlete that's the top performer, or musicians at the top performer, right? So it really doesn't matter in what field or what level, but how we get there is about being able to persist through that middle part, persist through the period of time that looks like this is impossible, or this is such a difficult situation. Like, how am I going to get out?
There's no such a thing called impossible. Impossible is just in our mind that we believe, or others, they tell us like, oh, it's impossible. I don't think so. Anything impossible in life, anything. If you believe you can do this, you're going to do it, or you're going to make it happen. But you have to put in work, and like there's always going to be sacrifices to get there. Any circumstances could happen anytime, but what I'm saying, the difference between one and others, that the biggest thing is you can't give up. You can't.
Would you say that it's like an emotional game? Because I feel like a lot of it is just really being able to manage your emotions, right? Because things can seem so difficult, so challenging, right? But if you can, that's why meditation is so helpful. And I know you do meditate.
It is.
As well,
yeah.
right?
I meditate and I pray too.
Yes, and actually prayer is very powerful as well. Anything that really realigns us and centers us and allows us to feel that like our emotions are within our control, and so we don't need to react to what's happening in our circumstances, and we can overcome it, right?
That's true.
Exactly. So the mindset actually comes first.
Yeah, it is.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and of course, hit the bell notification, very important. If you guys want coaching for all of your manifestations, life coaching that's based on manifesting, you can look down in the description below. You can also connect with Mahmoud on Instagram. He has already 1 million followers. You can go and see what he's doing. He has unbelievable things to share every single day. In the meantime, I'm going to put 2 videos up on the screen, one over here and one over here. And I will see you guys in the next video.
Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Subscribe on this channel.